Hi, and welcome to another episode of Mr. Puzzle. Today's episode is a little bit different from my usual content, but it's gonna be very interesting, I promise you, and it's of course about a puzzle. It's today about a Revo maze, in particular about the Revo maze Blue. And the ones who are not familiar what this puzzle is, it's kind of a hidden maze inside of this cylinder, and you need to twist this stick here and pull and push to navigate through, but you can also fall in some traps and then you can only reset the puzzle to the initial condition to start over again. I solved this puzzle earlier in an episode. If you're interested to watch it, you can watch it up here. And today's episode, I just want to highlight, also contains spoilers how this puzzle or the inside of this puzzle will look like too. So make sure if you don't want to see it, I'm so sorry, but you can't watch this video. But if you would like to see some really cool stuff, you definitely have to stay, I'm sorry. So, I was browsing the internet some time ago and I saw on the Revo Maze forum that there's a thread about speed solving Revo mazes. So there is a top 10 list for each particular type of Revo maze, also for the blue one. And for this Revo maze, the speed solving record is like 12 point something seconds. An amazingly, unbelievably fast time. It's actually hard to believe or to imagine how this can be realized. 12 seconds. Unfortunately, I was not able to get a video of this solve, but still I believe at that time gonna be correct, and I thought I want to beat that speed solving record. But how can I realize it? I mean, I could practice for like 2 years and then notice I won't be able to make it at all, or maybe I will make it, but this would be a pretty long and boring time. So I thought, let's not only use my fingers to solve it, let's also use my brain and let's use some kind of an engineering approach to solve it. And the idea I came up with, and this is what this video today will be about. I have no idea how this turns out in the end, if it will work or not. The idea I came up with is this. I present you the Revo Speed Solver 1.0. Here we go. So this, I know this looks kind of confusing, but these are 3D printed parts, and when I put them together, and in addition using these parts here, and a lot of these parts, and those two guys here, this one, and of course also that one, I hope that I'm gonna be able to break this, let's call it Revo Maze speed solving record. Of course, I will explain you more in detail what all this stuff here is about. Let me maybe zoom out a bit. Here we go, but I will explain it to you later when I put all this stuff together. And I have also a special guest today with me. Let me present you Mr. Caliper. Of course, he will join us in today's episode. So let's just get it on. I can tell you for the first component, this looks perfect. Just check out how perfectly this matches. No gaps, nothing. Man, if all parts turned out like this, I can be sure, at least from design point of view, it turned out as I wanted. And I can show you on this sample now why these guide rails need to be exactly parallel. Because if I just press on here, you can see that this will not, just slightly, this will not run very well. But if I align them properly, this is very easy to slide, okay? Let me just mount below here the connection for the belt. I designed it in this way, and in this way the belt gets in here. You can push it in here without any screwing or anything. Fix it in place. Also on this piece, the belt is not in the center, while if I then assemble it here later, it's exactly in the center of this sled. If you're not familiar with what this is a so-called Arduino microcontroller. It's a microcontroller that can control all these digital in and outs and can be equipped with so-called shields. And there's an Arduino down here and the Arduino can control with the help of this shield up to 4 stepper motors. These little things here, these are so-called stepper drivers, so they driving the stepper motors. You connect it to computer and then you can control the motors. I hope it will work out as expected. So we're gonna use a special software, CNC controlling software. It's called SFX I. We now will connect our device. So I feel like a crazy professor. So we're gonna go in the settings, and we can check if the motors are now already connected. You can see this because you can't twist them anymore, or barely. If I twist them, you can hear it's very difficult. So they have already their starting torque applied. The motor is under current. Now let's just set up the motors, the type of motors we have. We need to pick here GRBL 0.8, which are the drivers I mentioned before, these small little guys, stepper motor drivers, our COM port. And now we need to set a distance per revolution, and I won't set this now. Maybe I will measure it, not sure how to do it. I think the best way is to measure it for 1 revolution. But even more important, these are 1600 steps per revolution. I will set this to like 400. Not sure what I set these right now, so I will put it to 400. Here we go, and this is my control panel. And now I should, if it works now, I should be able with these arrows to control the stepper motors. Let's see what happens. Nothing. Nothing at all. Why? Okay, so I set this thing up now with the electronics, with everything. Everything should work right now, and from now you're gonna see some spoilers. So if you don't want to get spoiled, make sure to get out right now. So, what happened in the meanwhile? Well, I took out the core, because this was difficult to operate with the core inside. It made a lot of noise because inside of the core there is this inner core which contains the certificate after you solve the puzzle, and this one made a lot of noise. Therefore I took out this inner core and prepare also a part that I put in here like an end plug, and this will secure the pin in place to not be able to get out when the puzzle is in and the core is outside. I also took this core and created a map like this one here, which shows the map of this maze but in wrong dimensions. Okay, so this is showing it in wrong dimensions. Even if the path is the one you need to follow to solve the maze, the dimensions, the distances and so on are wrong. And this is something I need to dial in. And now I hit program. It's now uploading the software to my little device here. Now it's done, the control panel will open, and my problem yesterday was when I hit this button it didn't do anything, and this is also the case right now. But the problem is it don't works with a touchpad. I have no idea why, but if I hit this button here by my mouse, it starts driving. Okay, a lot of vibration here as you can see, and I can drive it with different speeds. This one sounds better already. Number 3. Number 4, you can see what this motor is capable to do. Moves very fast, even faster with this setting. Pretty cool, very cool. Oh man, it works. So, and the other axis, the y-axis is this one, and this controls the rotation of the shaft. And I need to put it a little bit under load to be able to rotate correctly. Here we go. So, can go slow, very fast, all the way around. Whoopala. So everything works as it should. they are not aligned perfectly, okay? So means when this motor is connected to this piece and the Revo maze is connected over here to this piece, the motor can't rotate anymore because there is a angular misalignment between these two shafts, like so, and in addition some kind of a transverse misalignment, and this puts this motor under high load even if nothing happens because it's just bended, yeah. And due to this problem, I bought this coupling here, and this can correct these angular deflections, and I hope with this I can handle this problem. I'm also printing a new device here. We'll connect this in a minute, and then we're gonna see if it works properly. What else? For example, if I simulate this maze, the navigation through the maze. So, and this will now look very rude. So, and now this, what I show you now is what happens if I drive to the maze. It's not dialed in, as I said, so the coordinates or the dimensions are completely wrong. However, it looks pretty interesting. I installed another part, this part here, which contains a screw. So I'm talking about this one here. And I can use my controller to navigate now this screw through the maze. You can see, very slow, also faster. Like so. Here we go. And this screw has exactly the same diameter, 2.8 millimeters, same as the pin that's used in the Revo maze to go through the maze. So I use this screw now for the mapping, and I carefully drive through the maze and note down all the coordinates over here. So each time I move it, the coordinates here will change. And in the end, it doesn't matter if they are 100% precise. It's important that I leave the settings the same, and then later I can write my program and drive to the individual positions. Let's go! Now it's very much comparable to what happened in the Revo maze itself. Let's see. Yeah, this looks insane. Works pretty good. Not exactly centered, so I need to fine-tune it a bit, but this looks pretty cool and it works. Yeah, man! Oh man, this is so satisfying if it turns out as you intended it to be. Okay, after another round of tweaking and entering all these coordinates, it's done. I replaced this motor with another one with more torque, because this little motor here was struggling too much. Therefore now two equal motors. I optimized this piece here to have less runout and therefore causing less stress to this motor. Everything works pretty fine. I haven't tried it so far inside of the Revo maze, only with the screw. And as a first step, I would like to show you how this works with the screw, which is pretty much the same as with the pin. And then later we're gonna double check how it works together with the pin. So let's now double check it at 20% of the speed. Here we go. Here we go. And then I implemented also a function that I can reset it with one push of the button, like so. Here we go. And if I want, I can reset it to the initial position by just doing so. This will not be possible later with the pin. Now I increased the speed to like 80% of the maximum, and look, this looks much more impressive, as you're gonna see now. So, same track, but it took it like, I don't know, 6 seconds. I will show the times later in the video. I have no idea how fast it is right now, but I think it's like 6 seconds or something. The fastest speed I was able to realize though is this one, but this doesn't work every time the same way. So sometimes it works, sometimes it fails. I think this will not be possible to realize with the pin. However, with the screw it might be possible. And it's running at I think like 12 meters per second, and the result looks like this. And here you saw it's got stuck. However, you saw the speed, and it's possible to finish it this way, and this will be like, I think like 4 seconds or something to finish the complete race, 4 or 5 seconds. But now I would like to just to re-equip this with the pin, get a maze inside, and then run it with the pin and see if my device is capable to solve this Revo maze in record time. So let's see. Okay, reset, reconfigured, recalibrated, and now let's give it another try. Hopefully it will not rip this thing apart. I'm a little bit concerned. Let's set it to 50% of the speed. And I just place a timer here that you can see the time. That this is not kind of a time lapse or something, but the real time. So I just started, and later I will check it out in detail what was the time. But for now, just to prove that this is real speed, let's start it in 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Woo! And this was quite fast, I think. Not sure what was the time, maybe like 12, 11 seconds, so pretty much the same as the record is by hand. And this is incredibly fast, to be honest. I can't imagine that someone can do this by hand at this speed. I would really like to see a video of this, but now this is only the start. Now let's crank it up a little bit. I'm gonna crank it up a bit to like 65%. This will be definitely faster than the fastest time ever done by hand. Let's see. 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Oh yeah, this is like 6 point something seconds. I just started and stopped. This is insane. This is much faster than I actually expected. Detailed time I will provide you later as mentioned. But now I think this thing can go even faster. So let's reset it again. Oh man, this is so sweet, so satisfying. The most satisfying machine ever, I tell you. Especially if you build it yourself. And now it's gonna get serious. So 75% of the speed of the fastest speed I went with the screw. Starting the timer. 3, 2, 1. This is so crazy. And okay, let's go faster. I mean, we are here for a fast solve, right? And not for playing around. So reset it. Wow. So, and now 85% of the speed. 3, 2, 1, and go. Man, this is so insanely fast. I can't believe it that this works so well. And I will prove you later, of course, that there is a pin inside. Here we go. Reset. Initial position. Crank up 100%. I hope this will not rip it apart. Let's see. I gotta start the timer. And afterwards I take it apart. Either it will block or I take it apart to prove you that the pin is in. So 3, 2, 1, go. And I'm gonna prove it also to you by just reset. And now if I spin it, it goes cluck, cluck, and so on. However, I want to prove it that it's real, and therefore I'm gonna set it and solve it one time. And here we go. Let's see. Here we go, it's out, and now I need to interrupt. Take it out, and it's now out. maze is at the end. Over here, you see. Take it out. Stuck. Now. Here we go. And here's the pin. So I think this was proof enough. If you still believe it, I can't help you, sorry. Here we go. The time I will now evaluate on my computer. And I'm really happy that in the end this finally turns out to be so successful and so fast. Nothing you can achieve by hand. And this is, from my point of view, except you know something else, the official world record for the Revo Maze Blue. If you can beat it, just get it on. Let me know. Share a video with me. I will also share it on my channel if you do so. Let me know in the comments what you think about this video, what you think about this episode. Big regards to the Revo Maze team. If you like the puzzles, just check out the website. And until next time, keep on puzzling.